Welcome, everybody, to the Git Bit Podcast, the podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. We are your hosts of the most, Black Spartan, showing guy Joe at Tafara TV. Guys, I know it's Saturday. I know we're still all recovering from the event that shall not be named, but how are we feeling?
Been hitting the treadmill a lot, so semi-exhausted. My legs are screaming.
Joe?
My thing says it right there.
Too worn down to you just came out of Multicon and you've had a hell of a week, so I'll give you that.
Well, I've been a lot of people's vent walls, so
oh yeah, so you definitely need to release yourself. But as you can see, guys, we are a little bit more leveled up side, so we do try to watch our language, but sometimes words do fly. At the same time, guys, we do show a bunch of trailers from video games and movie trailers, things that might be too intense for younger viewers, so viewer discretion is advised aside from that welcome. So before we can get into some trailers and news, unfortunately, we do have some sad news to report. A figure in movies and television and video games. I am talking about the man whose name you will keep out of your mouth if you do not want to see him in a bathroom and the lights out. The man who sat there and told Nicolas Cage, "I don't like soft ass shit" on a rock. Tony Todd, the man who literally scared us to death for many years, has unfortunately went to be with the ancestors. It has been said that he did pass away at the age of 69 due to possible heart conditions. We can keep going down the list about this man. This man has literally his film and TV credentials will have us here for the better part of the night, but we want to give this man his props. He was actually was going to be at BlurCon coming up. He was actually one of the scheduled guests to be at BlurCon. BlurCon did put out a statement, definitely sending our respects. Also, for all those that don't know, he was the voice of Venom in Spider-Man 2. So for a lot of people, especially Insomniac, also put out a statement saying that, to honor him and saying that his work, and of course he will be missed. But yeah, it's like, dang. I mean, I still won't say his name, even if I'm in a bathroom or not. But that just goes to show you what the type of acting and his presence can definitely be. But guys, anything else that we want to add to the legacy of Mr. Todd?
Yeah, I forgot he was Venom at first. I know Najee, who plays Miles, has been posting a lot of their BTS photos of both of them in the mocap suits, and apparently he really took him under his wing during that time. So he's like, I wasn't really done learning from you yet, so this kind of sucks. And then he was headlining BlurCon too, so he was like the face for this year, especially with it being kind of a spring horror theme.
Right.
But now I'm hoping we can maybe get some kind of memorial or tribute set up. If anybody bought like tickets already with like photo ops or autographs, they are staff's been notified. They're working on the refunds and such now, so stay tuned.
Yeah. So again, we definitely want to send our condolences and peace to the family of Mr. Todd, because like I said, he has definitely not only scared us, not only has entertained us, but like I said, across movies, television, video games, he is definitely a presence that will definitely be missed. But
got input, Joe.
Yeah, got input, Joe?
Yeah. No, definitely I'm going to try to summon him. What's wrong with you guys? Summon this nice man so you can thank him. Go into the bathroom, do the thing, and then if he appears, just say thank you.
So I read a story today. Apparently he got paid at like $1,000 for every bee sting he got during those movies.
Yeah. And the fact that, I thought that was, I'm not going to lie, I thought that was CGI, or it's like, no, he really did have bees on him. I'm like, man, there's not enough money in the world. But
I need an army of keepers with smokers at the ready at all times.
Right, because you're going to stand and tell me, okay, so for this movie that I'm not going to, of the name that I'm not going to say, we're basically going to have not flies, we're basically going to have bees attached to you while you look menacing. Cool. Mr. Todd, you are a braver man than I, because I would be chicken if you're going to stand and tell me that you're about to attach bees to my face and the rest of my body. That's just no. But again, our peace and condolences out to his family. So we did actually have a slate, but because of things going on, which I guess life be lifing, news came down the pipe that we're going to talk about that we're going to add tonight. First and foremost, Captain America: Brave New World. Its official trailer, another trailer came out for it. I haven't seen it. Guys, anything you want to say before I play it?
Somebody said this gives the vibes of, what is it, Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down, and that's honestly a good comparison. I feel like because I think the first one was the teaser. This is the official. I am now officially hyped for this movie.
All right, Joe.
Yeah, I like where it's going. I wish they hadn't shown one single thing with concerning Red Hulk and keep like it in suspense. Like we knew he was coming. I just kind of wish they had saved that up. But good job on the trailer thing. I think if you look hard enough, you see the hand in the ocean.
I think
we're back to Celestial.
We see a couple different angles of the ocean fight. So
okay,
yes,
well, cool. Let's take a look at it.
You asked for me. Here I am.
You want to help me?
Is there anything you remember?
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Thaddeus Ross.
Whatever this is, Cap, be careful.
What do we know?
There were 5 shooters. This was a coordinated terrorist attack, sir.
I was a wartime general. Now I'm a wartime president.
Your inner circle's been compromised. Let me fix it.
Watch yourself. You're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not. Wait for it. We're on the brink of war. I can't trust anyone. Nothing about this feels right.
Captain America. You ever ask yourself, who's playing who?
Someone's been pulling the strings on everything.
You're under arrest? I don't want a variable out there that I can't control.
Stop!
Captain America, caught without his wings.
You'd like to play dress up and blindly execute the state's orders.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
What if this is a trap? You don't even know what this is.
Since when were they red?
You want me? Come and get me!
I'm sold. I'm completely freaking sold. So that was the trailer, guys, for Captain America: Brave New World. As you can see, that's gonna be, I think it's Marvel's first movie of the year, right? February 14th of next year.
Yeah, that's going to be the start to our Marvel year.
Yeah. What do you say, Joe?
I think it is.
Okay. Well, I know you guys gave your thoughts on it. I'm sold. I mean, it gave Civil War, it gave Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy vibes. I love the fact of really what we're seeing there, and I can't add anything more to it. I think they might have actually gotten the formula right. I think this might shape up to be a pretty good movie.
They wanted to keep Red Hulk's under wraps, Joe, but then McDonald's didn't get the memo to stop the toys from going out. That's what happened.
Pretty much. It's always McDonald's. That's always tell people, if you want to know what's coming out, follow the toys.
I think Hasbro. There was like a whole truck set for Avengers 2, which leaked the whole scene with Ultron and Vision in the box.
Mhm.
And that's how much people found out Vision was in the film for Avengers 2. But yeah, I'm curious. First off, poor Isaiah. This dude, that dude doesn't get a break. I hope he probably doesn't get released at the end of this movie. New ID and relocate the man, maybe. Everyone's saying they're really hoping to see his grandson become Patriot. We see the battle at Tiamat,
right?
Brings vibranium into adamantium in possibly, and then curious to see. I didn't think it was going to be him and Ross being at odds the whole film, so I'm curious to see how that plays out, along with potentially Leader and then Esposito's character in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Manchurian Candidate is him.
Yeah, I mean that too. There was a little bit of Manchurian Candidate. I did like the fact that they didn't really showcase Ross as if, I'm not sure if it was an accident by him coming Red Hulk, because the way it shows it didn't show like this was a backup. It showed like he was either injected or something else had occurred.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, did he get sniped and like it took his Hulk took over, or did he? Because I know they mentioned a slight thing about a heart condition, and I'm curious if that's what made him even undergo Red Hulk transformations, because apparently we're getting a lot of circle backs to Norton's Hulk in this film.
Which is fine, because that would explain, because he said about his heart condition. I'm like, if they're using that to say that's how he becomes Red Hulk, I'm not against it. Although I like, again with the Isaiah Bradley side of it, I do want to see Patriot, because you are shaping up the Young Avengers on the other side. So if this is how you're bringing in Patriot too, I'm not against it either. But either way, come February 14th, we're going to know. But Joe, I'm going to throw this next one to you, because along with Captain America, there was also another Marvel Studios Thunderbolts trailer. Before I play it, have you seen it? And if you have, what are your thoughts on it?
It's just more fun.
Okay. Tafara, have you seen it?
Yeah, it's definitely reinforcing this is going to be the campy film. Cap is going to be the serious film.
Okay.
So if you feel like Marvel's doing too much of either one, you get a little bit of both.
Cool. All right. Well, I haven't seen it, so for all those that haven't, along with me, here's the trailer.
Oh, America's so big. You ever drive through Oklahoma? It's so flat.
Not wrong.
You got a convoy approaching fast. Step on it.
Come on, baby.
Okay, a bit faster, please.
Lexi!
Okay, don't worry. Engaging defensive measures.
Oh my god.
Wait, that's not supposed
Oh my god.
Move the shield!
Is that Bucky?
It's a Winter Soldier. That guy is so cool. That's what they talk about!
That's not good.
How crazy is it to think of all the monumental fights that happened exactly here where you're standing? I mean, the place wasn't cheap, but it's got good optics. Look at you. You are all so adorable.
Eat shit, Valentina.
Make up your mind.
The assignment is... Oh, wait, hang on. Assignment is complete.
What kind of super serum did you get?
I don't know, regular. Hydra.
Hydra. Oh, fancy.
Who is this old Santa?
The Red Guardian.
What?
Everyone here has done bad things. Shadow ops. Contract kills.
And you, former Red Room assassin. God only knows the blood on your hands.
Pretty ludicrous coming from the dime store Captain America.
I'll have you know I was actually the official Captain America, so.
Yeah, for like 2 seconds.
Getting so tense in here.
Who are you?
I'm Bob.
We're just tourists. And we don't have purpose. You can't escape the past.
So you can either do something about it now or live with it forever.
So what, we all just punch and shoot?
We are the Thunderbolts!
Can't call ourselves that.
Thank God.
The Thunderbolts. It's a cool name.
All right. So that was the trailer, guys, for another trailer for Marvel Studios Thunderbolts. As you can see, coming out. Forgive me because I should have that up. May 25th of next year. And of course, Lady Mandalore has joined us. Hello.
Hi.
So, round the room, folks, what do we think about this one? Because I know, Joe, you've seen it. Tafari, you've seen it. Kira, I know I just got through seeing it. Have you already seen it? If so, what's your thoughts?
I saw it, but I didn't see it in big screen. I saw it on a little screen, so it was a little shoddy. I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel like I don't know what the plot of this movie actually is, though.
Just the Thunderbolts in a nutshell.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then it did its job.
Yeah, it did its job because again, Red Guardian just wants to be known. If one person recognizes him, I think he's set for the rest of the movie. But no, it does look really good. Dime store Captain America. That's gonna stick with me for a while. Damn,
that's how you tie in a show without having to force people to watch it. Which it was Falcon and the Winter Soldier was still good, but you at least acknowledge, hey, we made a whole series about this. If you want to go watch it, but it's not required watching. Also, they're really gung ho about this asterisk thing. Like, I feel like we're gonna get to 2024 or 2025, and it's gonna have a whole new title, or we'll get to the end of the movie and the asterisk will turn into their new team name.
No, I think they just explained what the asterisk is.
Go for it.
Is that Red Guardian says, "Oh, we're the team, we're the Thunderbolts," and everyone's like, "No, that's a horrible idea."
That's what I feel like. I feel like the name itself is put an asterisk next to that, and at the end of the movie, we might get here is your new. Also, none of my guesses for who bought Avengers Tower was correct.
Pretty much, because I was like, I kept looking like, so they bought the tower. Oh, I'm sorry, Lady Hydra bought the tower.
I was gonna say, who does Val work for again?
Herself, Hydra, herself, Shield, herself.
Pretty much.
Whoever's paying got the right check.
She is the female Raymond Reddington.
She is the female equivalent of Nick Fury.
Also, and Bob, who?
The Sentry.
The fact that he keeps on introducing himself as Bob, I'm just like, so you have a volatile nuclear weapon times 10 that he does not know about, that he doesn't know about himself yet. That's interesting.
Times 10. You're being very, very polite.
Yeah, I am. I mean, it's not like Goku plot armor. I'm just saying.
Oh no, he is Goku plot armor.
Fair. He is fair. That is fair. But
so everyone's saying they think this is gearing towards Dark Avengers, is what I've been hearing.
No.
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, like I said, Marvel's thrown red herrings before, but I don't think in this case it's not leading to that.
You need, because don't you need a magic element for Dark Avengers, right? And that's missing.
And
we have it because of Agatha.
But she's not in the Thunderbolts.
Well, Doctor Doom's part of the Thunderbolts.
You think they're going to do well? We know. We know we know Doom is somewhere, but you think it'd be too early to bring in that Doom?
No, more than likely, my guess would be if they did want to bring a magical thing, they'd bring the Potion Witch over from Agatha. Because the Thunderbolts roster is as elaborate as the Avengers roster, if you really think about it, comic-wise. So we've had magic users on the Thunderbolts.
I wouldn't be shocked if she did show, especially because everyone in there will clearly do whatever kind of contract for money. I wouldn't be surprised if they paid the Potion Witch a fat stack just to show up and do whatever they need her to do.
Her actual character is a cousin of Johnny Blaze.
I was going to say,
she survived Agatha, so right? yeah. That was the connection I missed. That she is a cousin of
Johnny Blaze.
Thank you, of Johnny Blaze. That's the connection to Ghost Rider.
Is Johnny Blaze like strictly out of California?
He's in Traveling Circus, so
wasn't
it's kind of hard to pin down like Clint's early years.
Yeah.
Okay. I only ask because she's tech. I mean, if you want to be real fucking nerdy about it, Jen is flying off towards the west.
I mean, technically with Johnny, they try to make him seem Californian, then it was Texan, then depending on which story you follow. They always try to make him
what version of Nick Cage you got.
That too. Depending on what version of Nick Cage you got. Jesus.
Do we think we'll see the Power Broker make a return at all between these two films?
Yes.
We kind of just left her with the keys to the kingdom.
I mean, she's sitting in Madripoor, so yeah, I do see her popping up in I do see her seeing Brave New World, and I also see her popping up in Thunderbolts too.
Okay, because that's like the one loose end I feel like it's running around that nobody has mentioned.
Oh, she's the common link. She could be the common link between Brave New World and Thunderbolts. I really do believe that.
Okay,
but I'm glad you're on, Kira, because I know this article before we get to this one, because this one, the one I want to talk to you about, because this is up your alley. But before I do get to that, another reason that we keep on saying that Marvel needs to look for directors instead of doing dumb stuff like this. What I mean by that is, guys, is that the director for Godzilla -1, which by the way will be back in movie theaters, if you haven't seen it. Of course, the director from Godzilla -1 sat there and said Kevin Feige, the head honcho at Marvel, said to him that Marvel is having meetings every day to see if they can replicate the monster movie. I think it's just lip service. Marvel, there is one thing to do about this whole situation, because if you haven't seen Godzilla -1, again, I recommend that you should. Very well done monster movie, right there with Godzilla and Kong, if you haven't seen that series either. But Marvel, if you want to replicate the success of Godzilla movies, hire the people that directed it. I mean, right there solves the problem. You're having multiple meetings every day to see if you can replicate it, and the people who have done it are free and clear.
But
at least I think they are. At least I think they're free and clear.
What would it be? Fin Fang Foom versus U.S. Kaiju, and that's it.
I mean,
Warriors out of the.
Somebody has to buy. They want someone to box Galactus in space, or
that.
I mean, because you think about it, if I mean, let's be honest, the Eternals, to where we actually got to see the Celestials, and we actually got to the Eternals, and depending on what side of the coin you're on, you may or may have not liked it. But again, if you're going to have this kaiju / monster level movies, it doesn't have to be big monsters. But if you want to do monster movies in general and you want them to be successful, look at the people that successfully did them and say, hey, we're going to give you guys full blanche to go ahead and do this. Would you come over and do it for us? How hard is that?
I think that's probably what they did. And he just looked at him and told him, no, I'm going to go do another Godzilla movie.
Yeah, absolutely not.
That, or he saw the writing on the wall and the deal didn't smell right.
Because that's the thing that bothers me. Because it's like, we talk about this and on Blurred's Eye View. The simple thing, guys, is there are people that are successful at making the type of movies that people want to see. Whether as you have these massive studios like Paramount, like Disney, like Skydance, and I can keep going down the line here. If you want to have that success with what other people do, then bring said people on. but you're going to have to give them, and I think this is what Joe inspired what you were saying. You have to give them the creative license to do so. You can't sit there and say, hey, we want you to do this, but do this to this whole list of parameters that we want you to do it for to keep it within our safety lines. You can't do that. Don't believe
look
me.
At Edgar Wright and Ant-Man.
Say what?
Look at Edgar Wright with Ant-Man.
Pretty much.
Is that what happened? Was a bunch of corporate meddling?
Yep.
Okay, I was gonna say this is how you get a Blade situation, because I wouldn't be surprised if that's why people keep leaving.
I mean, Quantumania is a perfect example of what could have been a great movie, but it got Hollywoodized. But that's the only thing I wanted to get to about that one, because again, Godzilla -1, if you want to check it out, highly recommend that you do. But again, Marvel, if you just want to be able to have that same success, hire the people and give them the rights to do whatever they want to do. It's that freaking simple. But what I want to get to, Kira, because again, you are a Star Wars fan. I depend on you heavily for things in the Star Wars lore that I myself do not know. You don't believe me? Please go to Roomful of Blurs on YouTube and everywhere else, because she can explain it in great detail, more than I ever could. But this story actually came out that, of course, Star Wars episodes 10 through 12 are reportedly in the works with the guy, Simon Kinberg. If you don't know who he is, he did the X-Men Dark Phoenix movie. But he will now be developing a new trilogy to extend past, to extend the Scar. Well, let me take this back. It has not been confirmed, and Kira, please correct me if I'm wrong. It has not been confirmed at this point if it's a continuation of the Skywalker saga. If it is, and I'm just going to throw this out to you guys, if it is a continuation, is it a good idea? If it's not a continuation, where should the story actually go to bring fans back?
I'm going to let everybody else talk before I talk, because I have my thoughts, theories, and memory of it. But by all means, please, if anybody else wants to say something before I do.
I'm going to be second to last before Kira, so you two go first.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't super hate the last couple of films, just because they were reasons to, that Phase 2 Marvel era and the return of Star Wars was a great time to be in college and go out with your friends and experience this legendary franchise. But, after a while, and they kept milking the stuff, and, they give you games with only one saga that somehow nobody caught before they pre-ordered it. And I'm just like, maybe it seems like we're just redoing a lot of the same. Like, how did we get sold on the whole Death Star plot twice after we already had a Death Star 1.5 in the 6th movie?
With the same problem.
That
was... It was cool to sit in a theater of people and watch, but when you sit home and catch it on TBS, it's like, all right, it's the Death Star but bigger,
right?
Yeah,
I mean, they even say that in the movie.
And if you want to go that far, we've been doing this in Sega since Sonic CD. This is the Death Egg.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I got nothing to add to it. I'm like, look, I enjoyed the Skywalker saga of The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker. The only problem I had is the same problem I'll always say from the beginning. You advertised a Black Jedi, and we didn't get it. That is my ultimate gripe with the Skywalker trilogy. So,
that was me, because his face is, when they announced the first movie, his face is literally the first thing you see when we were getting reintroduced.
Yeah.
So as it slowly shifted, I didn't know who I was. He had a good time in the first movie. I still love his standoff with Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
But then when it shifted to okay, we'll bring Rey into the mix, and then it just became her movie. I'm like, I feel kind of baited a little bit. And then when he was in a coma the entire second film.
Yeah.
And then the third film, they just. Yeah. I was you should set him up with y'all. Clearly, y'all are wasting this, man. Just set him up with this chick and let him go be happy.
Pretty much. But that was the thing. I mean, that's my only gripe. Outside of that, again, and also for all those who don't know about Simon Kinberg, not only he directed the X-Men Dark Phoenix story, he also did the 355, which is basically George Washington's female spy, which is now wasn't a very popular movie back then. So right now, this guy's already 0 for 2. But also, before I throw this to Kira, because I know she's got plenty to talk about that, if it doesn't continue the Skywalker saga, Tell a different story. Does it have to be primarily Jedi or Sith or Gray Jedi? Do a story of the Gray Jedi. Nobody knows a lot about the
Jedi in standard continuity.
I mean, that's just a thought. I'm just saying it doesn't have to go beyond the standard. It doesn't have to go beyond the standard. There's a Jedi, there's a Sith. Eventually, they're gonna meet. Do something different if you're not doing the Skywalker saga. But I'm gonna throw it to the expert. So, Kira, I'm throwing it to you. What do you think?
So episodes. I'm confused by this headline because I think they also talked about doing 3 other movies. One of the movies was supposed to be one set way in the past, like in the origins of the Jedi. Okay. Another one was supposed to be the Mandalorian. It's supposed to be the Mandalorian, and then the third one is supposed to be whatever the fuck this is going to be. I don't think that I think they've put themselves in a bit of a bind with trying to pull those last 3 godforsaken movies in to this in order to carry on after this. I think they're going to have to put a little bit of their peanut butter with the jelly in order to land this properly. The only saving, I would like to put some silver lining on Mr. Kinberg's name. He did help write some of Star Wars Rebels.
Okay.
So he does have a history with doing good work. It's just that when it comes to directing, not so much. So the bottom part of that title makes my heart sing. I think he's great as a producer. I think he's great as a writer. Directing, maybe have several seats. I'm more hopeful than I thought I would be. I'm more hopeful than I thought it would be. I'm very scared for that last movie. I don't have a lot of hope. I'm not gonna hold you. I think they have had a few stumbles with a few of their titles on TV recently. Was not a fan of the first half of Boba Fett. Didn't really think we needed a Boba Fett. I was excited to see what they would do with it, but ultimately was like, do we really need this? And I think not Andor. I can't remember. There was something that was kind of off about Andor.
Andor or Rogue One?
Yeah, I liked the beginning of it, but then like towards the end, it started to turn into something else in the middle, and then at the end when they had the prison escape, that was like chef's kiss. That was great.
Okay.
It's a little bumpy to me right now. Like their wheelhouse with Rebels finishing off that series, perfection. No notes at all. I like Ahsoka. I like the Mandalorian. I really hope that oh my god, I just forgot his name because I'm having a stroke. Oh my god, I really forgot his name. No, Stepdaddy Star Wars.
Dave Filoni?
Yes, thank you. I have a lot of faith in that man. I have an enormous amount of faith in that man. And I really hope that he has a big fucking mouth when it comes to these movies. He doesn't, and because he's the creative director over everything, I feel a lot better about it. I'm just not
certain.
Everybody wants to try to redo the wheel. Sometimes you don't need to do that. It's okay to expand, but don't try to make the new thing the Skywalker thing. Like I don't need that. I really don't need that.
Gotcha. Okay, so it just seems like right now it's kind of a we hope situation. So we can leave it at that. We hope it's going to be good, and we hope you don't repeat Boba Fett.
Joe,
or you can just go ahead and give us the Mandalorian movie.
Oh, they're going to do. Oh no, that's happening. Oh, they officially.
Let me stress this: keep the Mandalorian movies in the same way and format as the actual series.
Yes.
Please don't Hollywoodize it. But again, we hope. But speaking of Hollywoodizing, before I get to the Mufasa trailer, wait, I'm sorry, Joe, you saying something?
He didn't
my
say
whole
it.
thought on everything.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. You got quiet. That's on you. Go ahead.
I was waiting to be introduced.
Yeah.
You are introduced, Joe.
I passed the torch.
First and foremost, save for his Rebel stuff. I do not have good hopes for this, especially if it's a trilogy. I swear to God, if the third movie says, by the way, Palpatine's back, let us know what you thought in Fortnite again. That ain't going to fly. Doesn't mean if we're talking about resurrections, they got the worst guy in the world to do it because his Dark Phoenix was god-awful. I don't think we're going to get most of the principal cast back if they are going to continue with the Skywalker side because, oh my God, it's time to move on. Like, let it be about Rey's great-granddaughter or something. I don't care. It could be about Lando Calrissian's great-great-grandson, Chance. Sure, we'll go with that. I'm purely pulling Chance out of the thing. I know his old continuity, Lando Calrissian's actual son, but, you know, I'm just saying move on from the Skywalkers and do something different cinematically. I'm so sick of it. Let it be freaking Broom Kid from the 8th movie. And let him go on adventures of cleaning up the galaxy with a broom using the Force. I don't care. Let it be something different. I'm so sick of the Skywalkers. So unbelievably sick of the Skywalkers and the Jedi and stuff. We're actually learning, a lot of us, that if you don't include a Jedi, people are just as happy because we're looking at a corner of the Star Wars universe that we don't get to see too often. It's why Outlaws, despite it being what it is and not performing as well as we thought it'd be, it is a fascinating and wonderful look at a side of the universe we do not get to see. And that's what we need to be seeing in these Star Wars movies. I'll be honest, I am not looking forward to this upcoming series. I'm going to give it a shot, but I do not care about 5 kids in space. I am old enough to where I can say what that show is at least 8 different times. One of them being Explorers, one of them being Space Cases with Walter Jones. I do not care what you 5 suburban kids find an Old Republic ship and go on a galaxy hunt. This last series, it tried. We had great representation, but that story got muddled, and it was really not great. I agree with Kira. I don't even know about the Prison Break because the moment he got in prison is when I stopped watching Andor because I don't think that guy can act solo and needs that KS-2O unit to help balance him out.
I was going to sit there and say, at least it's not tattooed teenage alien fires from Beverly Hills.
Look, I can beat you with Mystic Knights of Tir-na-nog any day of the week.
I'll watch Mystic Knights of Tir-na-nog before I watch that
Final
USA
season
crappy
with
Power
the
Rangers
Night?
thing. Yes. I will watch that first before I watch that.
You're lying.
I will watch that first just because of how bad it is. But
I just remembered something about the movie. It's supposed to be about Rey and taking the Jedi teachings and kind of going out to the universe.
Movie.
Huh?
The Rey movie, because it was the 3. It was the one you said. It was Mandalore, Old Republic, and Rey.
Yeah.
So Rey's basically going to do what Luke did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. She's going to be a bit more patient.
You know, I feel like
she's going to take the Carrie Fisher way of doing things.
I feel like had they gone the route of the video games with like Jedi Knight and Jedi Outcast, it would have been better because, you know, Luke actually had like a successul school and it was just one of his awful students who, by today's standards, could have been a very dope, badass CGI lizard design. Desan could have been like a menace. And True. Especially when it becomes the war at the Jedi Temple in the last couple levels, that could have been amazing, but we're just not going to do any of that. And then
I wouldn't mind if we did an Admiral Thrawn movie.
They won't, you know,
what Thrawn's doing in the galaxy.
Wouldn't be bad.
Show me what other galaxies are out there. Show me what other is
our galaxy. You really don't want that. In Star Wars Lord, the other galaxy is nothing but sea people flying crustacean ships.
But if it's the story, but I will say this: if the story is written right, it could work.
Forever.
That's all I'm saying. It depends on the story.
It's always in a galaxy far, far away, but imagine that's the story of other people like watching. Like, what if their galaxy is the Earth of the entire like existence? And they're just like, that place is ghetto. They fight every 100 years over the silly shit.
I mean, that's Mandalore.
Like, show me somebody from another galaxy. Show me somebody from another galaxy getting displaced in this one. It's like, oh god, I do not need to be here.
You just described BattleTech, where the clans invade the inner sphere, Tafari.
That is a fair point. But Tafari, I gotta throw this to you before we get to Mufasa, because sir, there's a reason why I sit there and say you're famous, because only he can get pictures like this.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Sonic Expo. He was such a cool guy too. Got a few minutes. Smaller con, more niche event there. Him, I want to try to get him, Jason Griffith, who is Sonic in like 06 and Sonic X, as well as Ryan Drummond, who did the initial game voices for like the Adventure all the way to, I want to say, Advance 3 and Sonic Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
But they told me like, yeah, we can't make any interviews happen. Go to the table and shoot your shot. And I'm like, let me go ahead before everyone gets in here, because it was still, a lot of cons are doing this now. They'll give you like an express hour for the VIPs in the vendor hall. So I was like, let me try it, go up there. His agent was cool, and nobody was at the table. He was like, yeah, just ask 3 questions and be done. I got like 5 off, but he was being very professional about it, which I respect. This is a new event, so I get it.
Mm-hmm.
He's also got another movie coming out, but I will put all of that in the interview. Hopefully have it ready for Friday. But yeah, Lee Medju, man, cool people. Agent Stone.
But how was the rest of the con though? Because I'm gonna throw it to Joe too, because Joe went to our local con here at mostly Music Con as well. But overall, what'd you think?
I like it. I think they got potential to grow. I think moving from the esports center to where they moved to was the right move, because it's just enough space, big enough for everyone to move around, but not everyone's crowded. I think they've sold out almost all their badges, but there's still not like a plethora of people in each other, like crammed, free parking. Whereas the esports center, it's nice, and they can still close off parts of it like DreamCon did the first time I went. Still paid parking, the hotel, the location. They have room to expand, and I think this was a smart move for them to keep it here. I saw Crystal Chanel was there today. The one day I don't go, but hopefully connecting with her tomorrow. A couple other people I've seen in the Sonic space. So it's always interesting being at like a niche event for a specific one thing. So, and then I've never seen like speed running in person, but apparently they people do that. So I saw a couple speed runs for Sonic Adventure, Sonic 3. Apparently there's a tournament edition of Sonic Riders that people do. A couple people who worked on fan games that are very big were like showcasing them. So it was interesting. I like it.
Cool. Joe, before we get to Mufasa's final trailer, sir, what did you think of Music City Multicon this year?
It was fun. It existed. I was there. I took a nap. I helped out with the judging. By that, I mean I turned down the television by one of the judges who didn't know how to do it. Talked to some friends. Saw the Kentucky Ghostbusters. Asked why they were there and why we weren't, what they were doing there. And then went home.
That sound like beef. What's the Kentucky Ghostbusters and why they were there?
Kentucky Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. I mean, I'm part of the Tennessee Ghostbusters.
Okay.
So there are chapters and charters of Ghostbusters?
Yes.
Okay. There we go. All right.
Well,
I'm like,
it was why I was up in Kira's neck of the woods in February for at the world premiere for Frozen Empire. Back in February.
Okay.
Yeah, just the way it's bother. I'm about to say, just the way it sounded, there was some Ghostbusters people on Mason Dixon.
Yeah, it's like I saw the flag and I went over. It's like, God, I forgot that we had an event. And it's like, this says Kentucky. Where? So I talked to them for a hot second. It's like, oh yeah, we reached out to you guys for whatever reason. They asked us to come. It's like, well, that's interesting, but okay, cool. Nice to meet everybody.
Also, guys, Music City Multicon is still going on. The last day for that is tomorrow. I would definitely do. We recommend.
Really bored.
Say what?
All the wrestlers looked really bored.
Damn, that's not well.
They're like Jake the Snake, Brutus the Barber Beefcake,
Mm-hmm.
Billy Gunn, and one of the TNA knockouts.
Was it just low turnout or was it high turnout?
Mid turnout is just no one was going near the wrestlers. Like poor Jake the Snake, he just looked bored out of his mind.
Damn, kids don't know what they're missing these days. But again, tomorrow I think it's still going on till what, about 6 p.m. tomorrow, Joe, or 5?
Yeah, I'm at work.
Let's say 6 p.m. If you are in the Milton area, definitely check it out. If not for the arcades, because I know they usually carry well, it used to be last year, they put all the arcades in one area. This might still be the same now. I'm not there. Go ahead, Joe. They move it?
Oh, they didn't move it. It's just really lackluster. It's only Smash and Mortal Kombat and old games and some arcade games.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of pinball. I actually got to try the Foo Fighters pinball machine and Uncanny X-Men based off the new series pinball machine. Quite fun.
I was gonna say complete with both photos. I'm sorry, that was wrong.
With what?
That was wrong. That was so wrong.
Okay, he tweeted today that he lost 1,000 followers, and I was like, let me go to his profile and see what he said. And I'm like, oh, that's I see why.
I have no idea. Yeah. Dave Grohl?
Bodum.
No, Bodum, the guy, the original showrunner behind
he finally said something. He said the quiet part out loud, didn't he?
No, he just keeps posting a lot of risque photos, and they're getting risque-er. Like,
well, that's what got him. That's
glass cutters that he's got on his chest. Jesus fucking Christ!
Yeah, let's just say if you're
in trouble with The Witcher, and why the Witcher people were telling the Disney people, it's like you need to be aware of him.
Yeah. Although Witcher 4 is still becoming a thing. But if you want to know what we're talking about...
the Witcher TV series.
Oh, yeah, the Witcher
TV people told Disney coming in, watch him, be aware of him.
It's like, I got no problem. People want to live how they live. It's just like, dog, a warning. Like, a warning slide and then a second slide would be nice.
Don't get me wrong. I know Twitter's the dark place, but damn.
He's doing he's doing his best strung up Magneto impression on like every. That's the best way I can.
We wonder why we're all moving to Blue Sky.
I kept hearing that at the con. They're like, "Yeah, catch me on Blue Sky." Like, I'm on Twitter, but not for long. Yeah, you guys should move the app's account to Blue Sky or the con's account to Blue Sky. It's more friendly over there. And I'm like, I might need to just go ahead and get ahead of the curve on this one because.
It sounds like it's going to be a mass exodus.
Well, because they're afraid, and we're not going to try to get to this in politics. I promise I'm not. Is because of where we are now, Truth Social is going to migrate back to Twitter.
Oh, easily.
So all of us are moving over to Blue Sky.
Wait, Truth Social's migrating back?
Yeah.
Truth Social?
Yeah, not to put a Debbie Downer, but pretty much, yeah.
The Trump app.
Yeah.
I thought it was called Parler.
No.
Oh, that's a different.
That's a whole different.
I thought that's where he's been this whole time. So
that's a whole different swamp.
He made his own playground.
Yeah, he pretty much made his own mud pit. But anyway,
this is the swamp.
Yeah, let's keep it happy thoughts.
Keep going.
Yeah, let's keep it happy thoughts.
I did manage to keep up the streak of I didn't have to pay for that photo. Not that I'm like finessing people.
All right, can we go beyond this?
Oh yeah, I was just talking about the.
He's talking about his streak of basically getting photos without paying. With photos,
enlarge, Will.
Enlarge what?
He was holding up something to show.
Oh no, I've just got the press badge. I was like, luckily, it's not like I'm finessing these people. They're just kind enough to let me slide. I was like, can I just get one from like my Instagram and the thumbnail? He's like, sure, get in here.
See, this is why you gotta go. See, before I play this trailer real quick, this is why you have to go with Tafari, because this man is just giving stuff. And I'm not saying because he's got luck tattooed to his ass. I'm just saying if you want free shit, stick with him.
And for the next trick, the winning lotto numbers are rolling.
If you give me winning lotto numbers, Tafari, I will buy whatever ridiculous purchase you want. You can have. I put that on all three of my kids. Anyway, Mufasa, Lion King, final trailer. Here it is.
Well, what do we have here? Move your head and let me see. Come on. Oh, this is the thing.
What thing?
It's the thing.
It's time I tell you a story.
A story! So glad I brought some crickets.
Rafiki, keep going.
The story about a prince who would come to be known as Scar and an orphan named Mufasa. Two brothers who set off on a dangerous journey to find a new home and a new family.
Why are you following us?
I was hoping to find my pride.
My name is Mufasa.
I'm Sarabi.
My name is Taka. He's going to start a new kingdom. Come with us. You don't have anyone.
She does indeed have someone.
That's Zazu, my scout. Don't eat him.
You heard her. Do not eat me. Places to go, kingdoms to see.
Finally, food. If you take my life, you will never find where you are going. Taka, do not eat him. Wonderful. Another we're not supposed to eat.
You expect us to follow this hallucinating baboon? No offense.
We go together.
Outsiders! This is not a drill.
There will be one Lion King. We have to carry on. We owe that to each other.
We're trapped. What do we do?
Get ready to run!
I never signed up for this.
We have come to rule without mercy.
This was a bad idea!
I will not bend to evil. We must fight together. We are nearing destiny, Mufasa. And so, the earth must shake.
Oh, stand down. I am highly trained and occasionally offended.
We go together. Okay, so that was the trailer for Mufasa Lion King. As you can see, guys, will be coming out in December. Is it just me, or have we seen this story before?
The White Lion is still throwing me.
Yep.
Yeah, that part.
The main bad guy is the direct opposition. You got to fight Kimba the White Lion to prove that you're not Kimba the White Lion.
If they actually give him the name Kimba, the balls on the mouse. I want to see if they're actually gonna pull it. I will see it in 2025 though, because sorry, dog. It's a very supersonic winter over here.
Yeah,
right.
I ain't seen this. They're committing the #1 movie sin I cannot stand more than anything.
What is that?
What's that?
Everybody miraculously knows each other before anything else. Like, I understand this is the prequel and we're setting up that stuff, but it's just one of those like, oh yeah, we've known each other since we were kids. You say you met for the first time in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I forgot.
I kept looking at it. Don't get me wrong, I want to watch it just because Lin, sir, you better come up with some fire. All I know for the soundtrack. I know he did. I thank you, but he better come out with some fire for the soundtrack. That's all I know.
Oh yeah, Green Lantern. What do you say, Kira? Wait, say
Kira. All of his songs sound the same. Like I love music, I do truly, but I can pick his songs out of a fucking lineup, blindfolded and deaf.
You don't want to be in the room where it happened.
It's better when it's done by the rapper.
That was wrong. I'm sorry. I'll put myself out.
Honestly, his music is better when it's done by other people and not Broadway singers. So, like Hamilton with like Busta Rhymes in it is so much better than the actual Hamilton.
Wait,
I'm curious.
Time out. Run that by me one more time.
Have you not heard that?
No.
It's a mashup.
Yeah, there's like a whole another version where it's all rappers doing Hamilton, not the Broadway cast.
I now have a project after this podcast, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say.
I know these things.
I'm curious if
I can't know everything.
Got your finger on the pulse of the culture there, Joe.
I'm curious if the Beehive gets another album or like short mixtape out of this. And are we just trying to set Blue Ivy up to be Nala for the second, or Kira, or what is the kid's name for the second movie?
I don't know. Are we talking about the one where the kids get the Jedi powers?
Simba's Pride, the second movie.
Yeah, I can't remember the kid's
I don't
name.
fucking know.
I want to say because it's Sarabi, Nala. I know it's something with a K. I think it's his daughter's name, and I think that's her in the trailer getting ready to hear the story. But then imagine this is Rafiki's senile ass, and it's just like, hey, none of that happened at the end, by the way.
all I gotta say,
we thought they were zebras.
You followed a hallucinating baboon. It's a joke that writes itself. I'm trying not to go back to that hole. It's not saying. I'm not trying to say, but that's like, oh, that joke writes itself.
Look, just like when we meet Morgan Freeman Armadillo.
We've already seen one Descent to Darkness story, and Transformers 1 is giving you some competition. Y'all better do this right.
Also, Transformers 1 Road, I finally got to see it. Really good movie.
You haven't seen it yet?
Dude, I got kids.
Yeah, dude.
I got kids.
I was about to say, I know he's got at least one whole ass baby he got to take care of right now.
I'm like, sir, I have kids.
So it's actually small segue. It is actually doing so well on VOD and digital that they are now talking about making the second one.
Good.
Nice.
I said the marketing shafted it, but it's going to make that back up at home, and I'm glad that it did because especially my running joke for the last week has been I watched a lot of D16s become Megatrons this week.
You ain't wrong though.
My new hashtag is Magneto and Megatron did nothing wrong.
Pretty much.
I have the books to back that up.
Yeah.
I mean, you ain't wrong.
I'm
looking forward to. Go ahead.
Go.
I also have the books that prove that Thundercracker is a competent daytime Emmy screenwriter. Yeah, in the IDW continuity, Thundercracker quits the Decepticons after the war ends. And because he's stuck on Earth, watches so much television, he becomes a daytime screenwriter for television and wins an Emmy. Is in a weird relationship with the daughter of Flint and Lady J, and has his own dog.
So you ever wonder what happens if you ask an AI to write a daytime show?
They win an Emmy.
I mean,
he has his own little Cybertronian bow tie and everything. It's great.
I mean, it's a nice tie-in because I mean they did say Bumblebee. Well, Jazz learned his talk because I guess he got stuck on like BET and VH1, whereas Bumblebee just listened to the radio and just finds different segues to talk with.
See, I argue that that's not right because he would sound more like Wreck-Gar than he would anything else.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible, but
at least we know they absorb modern media is my whole takeaway. Also, are we expecting just like a final appearance of James Earl Jones at like the end of this film?
James Earl Jones
for Mufasa.
That's a good question.
I thought you were going to say Unicron because
I do know that he okayed them using his voice for like recording his voice for like AI and stuff. So probably.
I mean, it is possible you may actually do that. So.
He at least set it up ahead of time to where he can still be heard and his family gets paid. So I mean, Unicron or Primus, he could become it. But
true.
But for this movie, I can fully see him. Yeah, just showing up at the end, doing one last Mufasa speech in a roar, maybe. Also, our Green Lantern will be playing his young counterpart.
Yep.
Not this deep sigh.
I'm trying. I'm finding it. I'm finding it. I'm trying to make peace with it.
Okay.
I'm finding it. Anyway, I'm
on board for Green Lanterns 100%.
I'm just gonna put that ball down and keep walking with it. So we're all in agreement about Mufasa. So video game news before we move on to our show reviews. Multiverses. Anybody play that? Because that is a game that apparently is still being played, and I didn't know about it. But anybody else played in this room?
I've checked it out every now and then. It's free. It's not hurting anybody. I'm annoyed in this new era of people who just sit on Steam all damn day and wait for they wait to see what the peak is, and the second you get like 5 below, look how far it's fallen off. Like there was what was a Wukong? Look how many people fell off of Wukong. It's like they finished the game.
Right.
What do you want me to do after the platinum trophy? What do you want me to do?
Before I play this trailer, I gotta say something. You freaking okay. Let me stop because that was gonna be profanity.
It's Warner Brothers.
The reason why you get a game 9 times out of 10 is replay value. If you're just trying to get attention to see how fast you can beat a game, complete a game, speed running, cool. That's your bag. If that's what you choose to do. But for those in this room, we like to go back and play a game repeatedly. We don't want to sit there and be like, "Oh, I've beaten Dark Souls. Let me put it away." I would call you sad because you could beat Dark Souls once. Okay, cool. But the journey is kind of going back and doing another run through of things you might have missed or new games.
I can only go Grace for so long.
Right. Or you can sit there and just enjoy the game. My thing is saying that because this game doesn't have this many users or this game subscribers fell off is the reason why some people look at Helldivers and go, "Oh, Helldivers 2 looks really fun." But then you hear, "Oh, subscribers have jumped off. Well, the game must suck." No, people decide to follow trends. If you like the game, please enjoy it, but please don't ruin it for everybody else. Just say you like the game and move on. That's all I ask. But
we are ignoring the fact that the WB did state that Multiverses is $100 million loss for them again.
I mean, that's news to me. So it is. So they're writing it off as a loss.
They're writing it off as another $100 million loss.
Yeah.
Although the funny part is they also sat there and said, "We won't get another Injustice, but we're going to invest everything we can in Mortal Kombat."
We told y'all we didn't need a Gotham Knights or Suicide Squad game, and you kept doing it. Which even then, I think they're doing what I predicted they would do with that game, but no one's around to find out. There's like I think on Steam they have actively 300 people playing each DLC that drops, and it's just the YouTubers who are biting that bullet for us to upload the cutscenes.
But I will say this. If Multiverse is fun, guys, please enjoy it. And also, with this trailer, their new character, Raven.
Sup? I don't scare easy. Oh, yeah. Your stupid pink flip-flops are making me inexplicably angry. Stop flipping around and hold still. You don't talk much. I respect that. Not bad. And you're giving me a headache already.
Ouch! I thought we could be friends later!
You think you're the only one with family drama?
Slow down, nerd!
I'm not sure what I hate more, Harley or her dumb voice. So, like, big black capes, right? I don't really do celebrating, but yay.
That's not bad. I mean, it's a nice little entryway for Raven to enter the Multiverses game. I'm not against it. Why she's being a Powerpuff Girls? Not my circus, not my monkeys.
I can tell you.
Go for it.
I think Joe knows the same thing I do. Go ahead.
They're all voiced by Tara Strong. That's why she was making fun of Harley and Bubbles.
Yeah.
Okay. I learned something new.
Her canonically hating Steven's outfit is also hilarious.
Yes.
Okay. I've definitely learned something new.
And she got the booyah.
I'm still surprised about that one. I'm like, did you just take Cyborg's? Cyborg's catchphrase?
I was thinking, I'll take the Titans representation if we're not getting other ones in here, but I feel like they don't have that heavy of a dev team even putting on this game. So I feel like whatever your losses are, you can make up over time because at any point you can randomly get an influx of people, especially if you're putting this out for free. Just don't be like Sony where people kept telling you don't make this and then you did it anyway, and now Concord is just what I don't even know what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, a shutdown studio, lots
Grand
of
opening,
layoffs,
grand closing.
a disc that doesn't even boot up anymore, I think.
Pretty much.
Jesus.
Concord doesn't even you couldn't even play Concord right now if you tried. And that's
Also,
kind of bad if you have the physical
Black
game.
Neon Suit Beetlejuice. That's a nice costume.
Yeah. I thought that was Beetlejuice when I looked at that. I'm actually, you know what? I actually may, because like I get any sleep around here, I actually might download Multiverses and actually give that a try. Just to say just to sit there and say I tried it.
And the next character is going to be Marceline the Vampire Queen from Adventure Time.
Interesting. Really interesting. I just might play Batman just for the hell of it because, well, I'm just a fan. Anyway, I did want to throw this out here, guys, because I have a theory and I want to ask you guys about it. But first, I have to show this article to actually give it some context. So, if you like the fact that a lot of Sega games were actually on different areas like PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Steam, Xbox, that kind of thing, I got some bad news. The reason why I say that, guys, is that Sega is delisting a lot of their classic games, like Sonic, like Crazy Taxi, Nights in the Dreams, Sonic the Fighters, and many more. Now, if you want to know the full list, of course, you can go to Sega's official website. These games will start to actually disappear from these platforms on December 6th at midnight. Which, again, if you enjoyed these, especially a lot of these games you can find on the Switch Nintendo expansion pack, you could definitely find there. But there's the reason why I bring this up, guys, because again, Sega has announced that they are delisting games, which means that these games are being removed from platforms. That also being said, Sega is also saying that they're bringing back Virtua Fighter. It has been confirmed that Virtua Fighter 6 is happening, along with Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, Streets of Rage, a new Shinobi, are all being developed. Now, for all those that don't remember Virtua Fighter, I'm just gonna let this trailer play in the background with no sound. But here's the theory I have. And again, if I'm nuts, call me nuts. But with Sega delisting video games, with Sega announcing that they're actually bringing out redeveloping favorites of video games, is it possible Sega may re-enter the console war?
I don't think so. If they did like a Dreamcast Mini, I think they could still make one and get it out before limited run games gives anyone their collector's edition of Sonic Shadow. Was Virtua Fighter the one that had Master Chief in it for one game?
No, that was Soul Calibur.
No, Soul Calibur I know had a bunch of different times. I know Master Chief was in a different.
I'm sorry, correction. Master Chief was in Dead or Alive.
That's what it was. Okay,
Dead or Alive. That's what it was. But this is the reason why I bring it up, because why would a company, and again, this is just me, and again, me being hopeful, because I would love for Sega to redo something Dreamcast-like, because Dreamcast was way ahead of its time, but still successful. Could it do the same thing in this day and age if they decide to re-push out a new console? Because the technology is there to do so, but is the library strong enough to bring actual players back? I'd say yes, but you're going to have to introduce new titles. But what do you guys think?
That does not sound like a sound financial decision, especially with these new tariffs from our commander-in-chief coming down the pipe.
Yeah,
that was my whole thing. I'm like, can you even get parts for a whole new console to enter the fray right now?
Yeah,
I mean, you can. You can until January.
You
can until January.
Like these backbones they keep trying to sell people that no one's picking up. We watched Ouya and Google Stadia come and go.
Well, I will say this about Stadia and broadband gaming. The problem with that is you didn't offer anything outside the fact that saying all you need is a controller and broadband. And let's be honest, we as gamers want a whole lot more than just, hey, if you basically give us a TV You basically give us broadband. You basically have a controller. You're basing this all the fact that you're doing over the web gaming. And I'm sorry, I know for me, I can't speak for you guys. I know for me, I want a console, I want a disc, I want my controller, I want my system. I want it all there in front of me versus being at the whim of your internet service provider.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say that unfortunately Luna and Stadium and the rest of the broadbands are not doing well. It's to me because of that. Because you're to there telling me, because one of the events, just like what Apple did, remember when Apple Music put YouTube on everybody's Apple Music, and how many people didn't want it?
Most.
Yeah, most people didn't want YouTube. Most people did not want whatever album, I forget what album it was, but the YouTube album that they were pushing on everybody's Apple Music, and it was just like massive rejection. The problem is you also have that ability with games. You can pull games that you no longer support. So what if those same people that are paying a subscription fee to pay said game, but said game's no longer available, you kind of feel screwed, especially if you made purchases on said game, like open sandbox games, for example. If you decide, if Fortnite decided to just 86 itself overnight, imagine all those players that spent thousands of dollars on their skins, on their skins, emoticons, dances. You don't own it. You just paid for the access for it. But let's just say Fortnite decided to disappear one day. Are you gonna get your money back, or are you gonna be pissed? So that's the reason why I'm saying broadband gaming didn't work. Now, going back to what I said about Sega, I think Sega can work. But Sega does have to have some IPs. They do have to have a system that's similar to the Dreamcast with just better graphics and more powerful graphics. But I think Sega can do it. Sega is one of those companies that I think can turn around and say, we're bringing a new console in. Instant buzz. I think they can do it. But what do you guys think? Because I mean, that's my theory on why they're delisting games, why they're announcing new titles, because why else would you be doing all this unless you're pushing something down the pipe new?
Dreamcast Mini.
That's
before that.
Dreamcast Mini or Dreamcast Classic. But I know they announced they were going to do some HD updates to like Jet Set and Crazy Taxi, but it's just a matter of, can you bring the next couple generations that have passed into that new fray? That's really going to be the selling point.
But I'm still saying, like, you want a Dreamcast Mini, I'd still go get it. Because, again, we can all name at least 3 titles off Dreamcast we would play right now. Because I know I would. I know at least 3. Most people can go 5 or 10, but I know to me, the bench test is 3. If you can name 3 games from Dreamcast that you love to play right now, that tells you how successful it was, because that's for almost for every console. If you can name 3 games from each console that you would love to play, that's the console that's currently existing right now. But again, I'm just speculating. Sega has not said anything about a console. I kind of hope they do, because even with that Sega Mini that came out, that was successful, because there was a lot of games outside of ROMs, because Sega's not like Nintendo. Nintendo is the thief of joy. Sega ROMs have been out there, and Sega haven't said shit. So, thank you, Sega, for keeping your mouth shut. But again, I'm just saying, like, if you guys think, like I said, I could be completely crazy, I could be out of my mind, but I think Sega is going to try something. And if it's a console, please announce it sooner than later, because January's coming up, and it's I don't want to be paying a car note for a video game. That's all I'm saying. But
I'll follow up this fearless year of Shadow with something, because y'all got a bit of a hot streak right now.
Right, something along those lines. But for the next video game that we have, Joe found this one, and again, knockoff Battle for Imagination. I'm gonna give it this because I want to play it. And Joe, do you have any thoughts on this before I play the trailer?
It's what if your toys fought like Killer Instinct?
But not just any toys. Toys that with marking they can't say because they don't want to be sued. and you'll know what I
That's
mean
what's
after
called
I play.
knockoff.
Yeah, you'll know. Yeah, you'll know what you'll see. A lot of familiar ones once we play it.
Oh, it's
Did we already
actually called
discuss Virtual Fighter coming back?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Before we did that, Virtual Fighter 6 on back because that's what we talked about. But go ahead, Joe. You had thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's needed because we are our fight game pool is kind of shallow, despite the fact that we are in a new fighting renaissance. Like we don't have a new Dead or Alive, even though there is a new Dead or Alive Paradise coming out, but that's not for fighting game people. That's for lonely people. Very lonely people.
Damn.
Look,
Well, I mean,
look,
that's
they
what
know they accept who they are. We accept who they are. We know why they're playing the game. That's fine.
I was gonna say Dead or Alive volleyball, but
The
that
last
that's the ones
volleyball
I
game
do.
was actually a competent volleyball game.
Those that play Dead or Alive volleyball, I'm like, you are the ones I'm watching. That's all I'm saying. But I'm
Dead
sorry.
or Alive Volleyball 3 was actually a competent volleyball game, though.
Understood.
I mean, it had everything else, but it was actually a competent volleyball game. But we don't have stuff like Dead or Alive fighting anymore. We only have the big three. And remember, we used to have many, many more. I mean, not bigger names, but like Virtual Fighter used to be on that same stage, like Virtual Fighter, Bloody Roar, other not lesser fighters, but not Mortal Kombat, Tekken, and Street Fighter.
Yeah.
But we still had that lower echelon of fighting. So it's nice to see that we're getting that back.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was just telling the others, like, I hope if this is a push for a new console, cool. But again, Virtua Fighter 6, I can't knock it. I would love to see that too.
It'd be like, I guess if it's the top three, I guess the bottom three be like Soul Calibur, Virtual Fighter, and Dead or Alive. Because I mean, your top three are always going to be Tekken, Street Fighter, and Mortal Kombat. So like right under them.
I can't
like
argue that.
overall, not like right now. I'm talking about like in the grand scheme of things. Those are your top three, and then your next lower tier is like we'll go Soul Calibur, KI, Virtual Fighter.
Ooh, I'm gonna put a pin in that because I'm gonna put a pin in that because that's gonna be a whole nother rabbit hole we can't go down right now.
Oh, trust me, if you guys get me on the cartoon thing that you guys were doing, we'd be on a long, long list because I will bring back old cartoons that no one remembers.
See, and this is why you must. But anyway, knock
we can
off.
Talk about Bionic 6.
Say what?
We can talk about Bionic 6 or Mighty Orbots.
See, this is why you need to pay attention Tuesday because it's gonna be a fun time. But anyway, knock off. Battle for Imagination. Here's the trailer.
Mecha Studios.
Nostalgia reignites cherished memories from our childhood, such as reminiscing about our favorite toys. With the power of make-believe fueled by our imagination, we transformed into fearless warriors, menacing monsters, wise wizards, or even powerful robots. We engaged in epic battles with our friends. Among all the exciting playthroughs, one question perpetually lingered. Who truly reigned as the strongest? Brace yourself, for the answer is about to unfold.
Fight! Awesome! Air combo! Reptile storm! Super move!
Let's go! Mighty Raptor!
Well, if there was ever an 80s montage, that would be it. That was knockoff Battle for Imagination. Again, look, Joe showed me this, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. But am I the only one that saw a little bit of Clay Fighter in that?
It looked like Celebrity Deathmatch meets what was the superhero team of like action figures Nickelodeon used to run that felt
action team now.
Yeah.
It felt like a mix of those two.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I first time I saw them, like, okay, I like the fact that it's different. I like the fact that, they were very, very careful as far as who they actually used and to make sure it was just enough not to involve the lawyers. But, I mean, overall, it looks cool. I can't knock it, but what do you guys think?
It's got an 8-character demo out right now.
Oh, cool. Did it say for what platforms?
Just about everything.
Gotcha. But, Garrett, Tafara, what y'all think?
I didn't dislike it. I think it's a very different take on fighting games. I kind of want to play it just to see how mechanics work.
It plays like KI.
I have not played that. Not gonna hold you. I know.
I can't make fun of you. I can't make fun of you about not watching or playing something. So I'm just like,
I had a lot of anger issues and I almost broke my controller. So I was off of video games for a very, 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 very long time.
It was like Jane. She has to wear a glove from how much like effort she puts in on her moves. She'll give herself a blister on the finger.
Oh no, I would throw things. Sorry.
No, understandable.
Right.
Tafara, what do you think?
I mean, first off, bring back demos.
Right.
But if it's got one out, I might actually go play it just to see. There was very much clearly a knockoff He-Man and what was the shark cartoon?
Street Sharks.
There was very much a knockoff He-Man and Street Shark in there.
Was that Gundam?
Yeah,
maybe a knockoff of Voltron or Transformers.
That one. Yeah, like I said, they did just enough. They did just enough to avoid the lawyers, because I'm pretty sure if anybody had seen something, they would have done a cease and desist so fast it would have been funny. But no. But the demo is out again. I'm going to have to go look for it and download it because I definitely want to try it because it looks fun. The thing about it is, and I agree with Tafara on this. Bring back demos. What happened?
Demos are making a comeback actually because a lot of they're mostly RPG, and that's because what they do is they put out like the first act of the tutorial level, and then when you get the normal game, you get the option to carry over and skip the tutorial level because you've already done it.
Yeah, that was Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Final Fantasy Rebirth, Metaphor Reinfantasia is doing the same thing.
Okay, because that's one thing I was just like, demos used to be their testing. It used to be their testing, it used to be their feedback. It used to be like, hey, do you guys like it? Does it suck? Do we need to disappear for a couple of years? That kind of thing. That's what it used to be. But if it is coming back, cool. Not knocking it. But again, I now have 2 projects after this because apparently the hip hop mashup is still stuck in my head. Thank you for that, Joe. But with that also being said, guys, the last video game review, the trailer we have, we didn't get to this one last week because of Life Be Lifin', but we do have another entry for Fatal Fury called City of the Wolves. If you're like me, you're trying to track down the main theme song for this. SNK has yet to release it. I finally did find the one for Street Fighter V. But anyway, if you haven't seen it, this new character, I'm trying my maturity level.
Okay, here, I'll just say it because I have to preface this with the first. It is Kim is the last name, so it's Kim Dong-won. It's because that's an actual Korean name. He's the older twin between him and his little brother, Kim Jae-hoon.
Roll it.
I don't know why you guys are like this. I mean, it's an actual Korean thing.
I know.
I failed the maturity test. Thank you, Joe. Here's the trailer.
Kim Dong-won, right there.
Okay.
Not Don Wong. Come on now. Here.
You can be my warm-up.
Lily Pan.
Come on, let's go. It's the sucker! Blink and you'll miss it! Here we go! Gotta tell ya! Fatal Fury! City of the Wolves!
So the main roster only has like 2 more reveals. I'm fairly certain his little brother is going to be one of them, Kim Jae-hoon, who's got the fire. Don't know who the final character for the roster will be, though. In all honesty, it could either be Joe or Andy, or it could be a return of like Gato, who's seen a lot of times in KF. You've got to let this go, man. It's just a name.
I failed the maturity test, but keep going, Joe. You're doing great.
Anyways, yeah. So we get that. We of course know that Hobo Ken and Mom Lee will be coming over from Street Fighter 6. So Chun-Li and Ken will be guest appearing, and I think the first time Street Fighter characters have appeared in Fatal Fury, officially outside of crossover games. So we know those will be. And that one soccer player, Ronaldo's got something to do with the game now, too. He may be a DLC character, which is honestly not unheard of because SNK has made sports teams in their fighting games. We've actually had 2 years where their sports franchises gets the main character and puts it together in the thing, which is where the boxer, football player, and basketball player from the KOF 96 and 97 sports teams come from. Nice. So there's that. So having a soccer player is not unheard of. It's just one of those things. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know who I want to play. Everybody just seems good right now.
You haven't figured out your main yet?
Oh God, no. Actually, my main was Kim Dong-won in Garo. Because he had really, really strong setups and a lot of ground bounce and OTGs. So he's really good. If he carries over to this, I'm in. If not, I can just use his little brother.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, Kira, have you ever played Fatal Fury? And if so, does that entice you? And the same question to Farah to you too.
I never played it. Wait, no.
It's the one where the nice man in the head asks if you're okay before hitting you.
I'm trying to remember if I played it in an arcade or not, and I feel like I played it in an arcade, not on a console. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably,
Are you okay? And then Buster Wolf.
I think I played a crossover game or two every now and then with some of these fighters. Depending on how that foot action works for him, if I can see him being the first person catching a patch.
Yeah.
You have Capcom vs. SNK too. You can literally play his dad right now.
Oh, right. His dad is
Kim Kafwan.
Okay. So yeah, I have seen some of these characters before.
Oh, it's been a while. I mean, my Fatal Fury is definitely rusty. But again, I'm looking forward to that anyway because I do love fighting games. I do need to get back up on them. Not as well versed as Joe is on Joe Italian last name on his Twitch channel because you be making some folks cry in Rage Quit, by the way.
Every time I play an Akuma, it's just the SpongeBob meme of how many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man?
The fact you made somebody rage quit, and then I think, well, no, it was somebody else. It wasn't the same guy. I was like, dang, he come back just to play you again? That's gotta be hateful. But
actually, that's very, very unlikely, and I think it was just like short list that night, and we just got rematched.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Really hard to do on casuals.
Yeah.
But I'm gold
again,
two. I'm gold two on it with Terry.
Nice. See, this is why I'm so freaked. I got kids. I just need to just accept that. I just need to accept the fact that I got kids. My life as a gamer is just reduced. But anyway, two of the bits.
And their hands will hurt too much to do anything else.
Oh no, I mean I'm cool on that part. I just don't have time. Time is my problem. It's either play video games or sleep. And I need sleep because a 1-year-old and a 2-month-old is whoo. But anyway, love my kids. Quick news before we get to our show reviews. Again, for all those, if you're like me, you're a Resident Evil fan. That's not what I want to do. Thank you. Resident Evil 9 rumors. Again, these are rumors. This is just as we get closer to Resident Evil 9 news does come out by Capcom. We do know this. It is going to be similar to Resident Evil 6. What I mean by that is it's not going to suck. It's just going to have more characters. It is going to have Joe Valentine. It's going to have Leon S. Kennedy, Barry Burton, Chris Redfield as the main four. It's going to have the same idea of village, except it's going to be surrounding an island. This island will have a hospital. It will have a mansion and a graveyard is some of the places to where the story takes place. Really, I don't want to go too far into that just because, again, these are all rumors. None of this is confirmed, but from what has been said so far, if you love the movie Resident Evil Damnation, you're actually going to like this game. Now, Damnation, I don't think is no longer on Netflix. I could be wrong about that, but if you have not seen it, definitely check it out. Because for some odd reason, animated Resident Evil movies do a lot better than the live actions. Death Island, Damnation, and I think there's one more that I'm missing.
There's like 3 more. They have almost as many as live action at this point.
I think they're up to 6, aren't they? 6 or 7?
5 or 6.
I thought about that. But yeah, if you haven't seen them, definitely check them out. But if you're like me, again, I'll go back and replay 7. I'll replay Biohazard, which was 7, and Village, which was 8. Loved them to death. But for those in this group that are Resident Evil fans, are we looking forward? I know I'm looking forward to 9, but is anybody else looking forward to another Resident Evil game?
I feel like they've got a new formula ever since 7. Because I know the old school style of playing Resident Evil just was not for me. Like I have 2 originally on the N64, and that just moving the C stick to aim around was just not it for me. But now this new style they got, which who was even our protagonist? Didn't we blow ourselves up in the last game?
Yeah, Ethan Winters did die in 8, but his daughter actually continues the story now. Well, let me take that back. 9 is not going to continue where 8 left off.
Okay.
I do know that for a fact. 9 is definitely not going to continue where 8 left off because the DLC in 8 actually wraps up her story.
I do remember. See, I remember him going and then his daughter taking over for a point.
Yeah, because in her DLC story, she pretty much kind of comes into her own, which I'm assuming she'll pop up in another Resident Evil game somewhere down the line. But not 9. 9 goes into a completely different direction. Still the same kind of format as Village and Biohazard, but completely different story.
Okay.
But either way, I'm looking freaking forward to it. Kira, what about you? Do you I know besides Geek by Heart, who is probably right now somewhere in Silent Hill 2 right now on her page, but Survival. So what?
I think she's tomorrow.
Oh, she's tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad, Lanny. You're probably going live tomorrow. But outside of any, have you dabbled in Resident Evil, or are you kind of like, I'm good?
So the thing about me, I can't do horror games. I get immersed with any game in general. I need to sleep at night and not scream like somebody's trying to kill me in the fucking house. So great, looks gorgeous. Not for me.
I'll gift you Outlast for your birthday.
Oh no! Oh, she will fight you. She will fight you.
Don't do it.
I was gonna say, please don't give her Outlast. Kira will hunt you down.
I won't. I'll say, yeah, no, it's a great game. It will collect dust.
Hey, that's like sending her Dead Space. I'm not gonna do that to you. But also, again, with the Nintendo, moving to that one, because again, Nintendo Switch, I should say Nintendo, the the company that loves to steal joy from ROMs, did sit there and say that as we're awaiting news of the Nintendo Switch, that Nintendo Switch Online will be available to the successor Nintendo Switch as well, including its compatibility with the original Nintendo Switch, with the original Nintendo Switch. Now, what does this basically mean? Because the problem with the Nintendo Switch is that it's always been backwards compatibility. If you guys remember, the original Wii, the Wii U, and their libraries were not always accessible on Switch for reasons beyond our comprehension, considering the fact it's all the same equipment. But
not
again,
the same distribution program, though.
Say one more time, Joe. I'm sorry.
Not the same distribution program. Also, back to the Resident Evil thing. If we do hear anything about Resident Evil 9, it will more than likely be at the Game Awards next year. Actually, next month. I keep forgetting it's November.
Have we gotten to that time already?
It's next month.
Everyone's thinking that everyone's assuming Helldivers is going to introduce the new enemy at the Game Awards. So now's the time to start speculating.
Oh yeah, the not quite Protoss.
Yeah. Holy crap! I forgot about the Game Awards in December. Damn, you are 100% right. Damn, I did forget.
So on to this one. Remember the Nintendo store we have now is not the same Nintendo store we had back on that kind of shop because we didn't have My Nintendo accounts.
True.
That we have to like back up stuff. So like even my Japanese account picks up because it's a My Nintendo account.
Yeah.
It's a whole different point of sale distribution system, which is probably why they are more backwards compatible.
But
also, I'm thinking that the Switch 2 hardware itself, maybe like the DS, where it has the 2 terabyte flash storage card. Whereas,
but they're all working. Yeah, but it's all working off nano SDs though. It's still nano.
Maybe a different style.
Because that's the thing. But that's the thing that's always bothered me. It's just like outside of the Wii and Wii U, because they use the UMD disc. They're not okay. That I get. That's coding. That's a whole nother problem. But if you look at 3DS, if you look at the original Switch, it's like that's all nano. So technically, that's the same code that all 3 machines can run. But if you're able to put these things on the Switch channel and the Switch can run them, why is still backwards compatibility a problem is what I'm getting at.
Well, Nintendo doesn't like to archive, and you know that.
Nintendo doesn't like to do a lot of things.
Yet
but you're right.
Competitors to this day.
I mean, no, you're right, because we kept on wondering about that one group. What was that one group that came out with a Super NES console that was playing HD games? I need to check up on that and see if they didn't get cease and desisted yet, because we thought they were.
The Power World lawsuit came up to a whopping $65,000.
They settled for $65K.
Yes.
Did they settle, or is that what the total charge?
Total damages.
Yeah, the total damages is $65K for patents they made after Power World came out.
I
hope they get countersued and lose. Or
I was like, for $65K, you would think for $65K for the Nintendo, was it Pokemon Company, Nintendo Company, both sued Power World. I think it was a joint collaboration on that, and only getting $65K. That sounds like they didn't have much to go off of. It sounds like a settlement.
Apparently, so they it's a whole lot of yen, but then when you translate the cost in American, they claim this has robbed them of $65K. When it's just like, no, you don't really have ground to stand on. Only stand to lose from this. And I hope
here it is.
You got
Go for it.
Go ahead.
No, I don't have the.
I ain't got anything. Go for
it. This is from Engadget. A press release from the studio issued on Friday said Nintendo and Pokemon Company both want 5 million yen each plus late fees for a grand total of 10 million yen or $65,700 in damages apiece.
So they settled for 65. So they settled for 130.
Well, that's what they want. Apparently.
I have a question. Are the Power World people like making a grip of money or not.
I think they made a decent chunk of change, and they have a decent player base.
Yeah,
Especially now they're getting added to another console soon.
Right.
Because I feel this feels like a number for how much the company is worth that made it.
Well, as of about last week, they grossed over $442 million.
Something's wrong. Nintendo's doing something funny.
So it's just like, I mean, that comes from the law. I mean, that's directly from the lawsuit. They are Power World did state that they've made well over an estimated $442 million. That only had a development cost of $7 million.
Well, it says here they were only found at fault for basically copying 3 patents.
Mm-hmm.
One of which is the tossing of a spherical capturing device.
Yeah.
Or a red and white spherical capturing device. So all they got to do is change it to a blue and orange square, and later on down the road, and they're good.
No, go ahead, Kira.
I don't know anything about patent law, but they made those patents or filed them after the game came out.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Like, why would you? How does that work?
Japan has a bizarre legal system where you are guilty and you have to prove yourself innocent rather than the other way around. So,
but in the grand scheme of things, if you made well over 400 million and you only had to squeak out 130K, that's not bad. If you really think about it,
Nintendo realizes they can't get them on anything more than those 3 things, so they're just going to get what little money they can.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way I look at it, because I'm just like, if Power World will still continue because folks still play it. So, I mean, but if Nintendo, all they're going to get out, if Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are all going to get out of this is $65K a piece, hey, man, cut your losses and move on. We finally found someone that beat the big red monster.
It also feels like the amount they're going to get is less than the lawyers that they're employing.
I mean, at that point, just lawyers. I mean, that's just lawyers' fees at that point. You're right. What do you say, Tavara?
Is it basically like your legal fees will probably cost more than that?
I mean, you're gonna take a loss. I mean, you're not gonna come out breaking even on this, but no, with Nintendo though, I'm not, how can I put this ever so nicely? The Switch 2 does not give me cause to go out and upgrade my current Switch. And again, I have seen nothing that says otherwise that makes me want to sit there and get it. Most of my games that I love to play are still available to play on the Switch. The Switch channels that I actually have access to still can do, even though I don't listen to Nintendo music, although it's available for anybody that has a Switch account, has a Nintendo account, if you want to listen to certain music.
It's
fine. I'm just going to throw this around the room. Even with the backwards compatibility, if it's a thing, would it make you upgrade your Switch to the most next-gen console?
Probably not, unless they're planning to switch to some new shape I've never heard of for whatever the game insert is going to be, because at this point, the Switch 2 is such a myth. I'm curious to see what's the difference that you couldn't just make this the original OLED.
Mm-hmm. Joe?
It doesn't bother me one way or the other. I'm going to end up getting it. I mean, I know I will. This is probably just gonna be like a new version of the DS for the Switch, and just have one port for the top, one port for the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be able to port over all my stuff. Be able to put in the same memory card, still have all of it over there. It doesn't bother me too much.
Okay, Kira?
Meh. I still haven't been convinced to buy the first Switch, so. I'm not spending money. I mean, I would, if I was going to spend my money, it would be the 2, but it's only because I didn't buy the first one. It's the only reason why I buy 2.
If you're a big RPG player, that's why you get the Switch. Let's segue into Mario Luigi.
Yep, because I haven't played it. I know Joe has. Joe, I know you've played Mario Luigi's Brothership. So
I played a good 7 hours. I am on my way to the first. I did my first boss battle, and on my way to the first big area. I've had fun with it. There are some complaints where people are saying it kind of takes away some of the combat system. I find the combat system a whole lot of fun. Luigi's really funny in this one because he has more to do in the game mechanically than he has in the previous ones.
Okay.
Like you can send him out and he'll do like little tasks on his own, like go gather coins or go gather spirits. In the boss fight, they have what's called Luigi logic, where he'll use something in the background when prompted to help you fight the boss for like a move.
So it's not like an assist, but something that you can kind of allow the CPU to do.
Like you control both of them as you used to. A and B are jump, X and Y are hammer, as they are in all the Mario and Luigi. But the gimmick this time around is Luigi is proving to be the more clever of the two, and using stuff sets up in the environment. Like for example, there's a teeter-totter style statue in the background, and a rock that the boss throws gets deflected and lands on that statue. Your next turn is Luigi. You choose the Luigi logic thing. He goes and teeter-totters the statue back and launches the rock at the dude to get a free hit.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, like I said, you can tell him it's like, hey, there are coins over there. I'm doing this. Hit the L button. Luigi will go gather the coins.
Oh, so he's not going to treat him like Yoshi.
Correct.
Gotcha.
It's just been fun. It looks so gorgeous. I have a hard time believing this on the Wii. Like, whatever cell shade program they got to do this game, they got a really good one. Also, I thought my TV was broken for a little bit because Mario's hat in the back is a little bluish purple, and I thought my TV was starting to go, and I never noticed that before in any of the artwork. It's like, great, my TV's starting to go bad. Then I started looking, and it's like, oh no, it's actually the game. So my TV's fine. A lot of fake Italian talking.
Not fake Italian.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times I hear these two like the game. I will say the thing is they really like to talk a lot, and these two don't talk a lot. But the game loves to have a lot of dialogue. You have your little guide, Oinklet, which is a cross between a pig and an electrical socket, because we're in like a realm where everyone's like electrical based. So like all these beings are what's called sockets. Like everyone looks like a wall socket.
Nice.
Whole big thing. Even though he's not a pig. He goes out of your way to let you know he is not a pig. Called Oinklets and saying oink in his things.
Damn.
But no, I've had a really fun time. It's 7 hours in. I'm on to the first big main island. I've already got 3 small islands, doing side quests, got the hammers. It's been very enjoyable.
Cool. Before we move on to our video game reviews, I know Tafari, you were playing Sonic Shadow Generation, sir. How you liking it?
I think I see where the minus points came in, because for the Sonic part, what the fuck was that final boss fight? Y'all had like 10 years to fix it, and there's certain part, like I just got my controller back from getting drift, and I thought it was broken again. The shadow portions though are absolutely beautiful. Like there's certain things that they fixed and added in there that I'm just like, why didn't y'all put this in the? Because they cleaned up the Sonic Generations part a bit. Like y'all could have carried this over there, which. But Sonic Generations was fun. Shadow I'm loving so far because it's opening up a new part of the story, touching a little bit on more of the Black Arms and Black Doom and his origins, as well as like instead of going like side scroller like they did for Sonic's part, it's actually more like an open world. Like it's very much. And maybe this is just the drought talking. It's almost like Scala from Kingdom Hearts 3, like that fun world where you find out everything originated from. But as you like get through the level, you gain more of these powers that you may or may not were supposed to have originally. You find out, and then the world starts becoming more colorful, and you finding more of these like statues, and it's it's very interesting. It's a unique take on the character, and I like what they're doing with it because they're clearly, after Frontiers, they're clearly trying to set up like a definitive canon now, and this feels like it's geared towards that. Also, I don't see how Mario and Luigi got a 5 by IGN, but that's here or there.
It's IGN.
Well, it's IGN. I also know some of the European people kind of gave it a low score. Like I said, the combat is not what it used to be, is what's getting a lot of people. I really enjoyed it. It's a little bit more simplistic, but still enjoyable. But people are still wanting that old school hardcore rhythm-based combat they had in the older games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just played the first one, and I'm like, I didn't even know some of the combos could be extended multiple times. But after that, it's like, it's the timing and then the input. It can be a bit much. I had like two or three.
Much more forgiving in this one.
Yeah, I had 2 or 3 attacks that I just fell back on in the original one on the Game Boy Advance, because the other ones, just trying to remember the amount of variations they had was a lot.
Interesting. Well, I know, Kira, because you are back on your video game kick. What has been your go-to currently?
I am playing through the entire series of Assassin's Creed. I'm up to number 3, and I'm having a good not number 3. Brotherhood. So I'm enjoying it. It's a good time. The graphics between Assassin's Creed 2 to Brotherhood are like a world difference, and that was what, 20-something years ago, almost 20 years ago.
Yep.
So it's only going to get better from here. I'm excited. I just love your
I just love your commentary when you play. Your commentary when you play is always funny.
I do. Yeah. It's like, I can feel you now. Okay.
and also it's a far eye, because this man is literally on a treadmill walking while he's playing. And now here's how I know he's a trendsetter before we get to Dragon Ball Daima. Whenever Tafari does something, I have noticed that 10 other people immediately start doing it. This man was, and I will speak for him because he says it, but he needs to have a defender. This man was playing Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man on PlayStation, while on a treadmill during let's call him the Carnage-esque.
Yeah, the Doc Ock Carnage chase fight.
Yeah. And he's doing it on a treadmill. He's doing it while on a treadmill. For everybody that doesn't remember, that part used to annoy the crap out of me because the camera angle did not help you. So imagine doing that while you're walking and you're trying to converse at the same time. That is effing difficult by all standards. But he posts that one day. What happens in 48 hours? 7 other people are doing it that have never done it before. Now 7 people. One guy actually has on a weighted vest as if he did not need to work out any harder. So he's got a weighted vest on while on a treadmill, playing a similar game, because God forbid they can't play the same game and not call it copyright. But Safari, what do you say? What do you say best? That you just can't have anything.
I can't have shit. But apparently that dude's whole internet persona is he's an actual doctor in like some South American country. So I'm just like, all right, that was clearly your one-off. But I was like, let me hurry and do this thing before somebody either comes up with it or I don't know. I was never planning to maybe do this very long because I know how the internet works before somebody else takes it and bites the shit. So, but I figured I'm trying to cross it off my bucket list. But yeah, Spider-Man and The Incredibles are games I actively got tired because I was on this thing longer than expected.
Nope, fair enough. But again, it's just I envy all y'all because y'all get to play for at least longer than 5 minutes. But anyway. No, it's okay. I gotta get back into my groove. That's all it is. I just gotta get back into my groove.
I play your honor, sir.
Yeah, but anyway, quicker TV reviews, guys. Before we wrap it, I gotta start with this one because everybody was we talked about this last week. We were just curious about it, but Invincible Fight Girl, Around the Bend. Yeah, I think we all have watched at least one episode. So, what do we think? Do we like it? Do we love it? Are we going to continue it?
Yes,
it feels like all the fan projects you've seen on the internet, but one finally made it to TV. Because even all the DBZ sound effects and all the like very it's like just above being a chibi show, but they do a lot of like chibi stuff. So I like it. I like where it's going so far. I like the main character. I like seeing a black character with supportive parents. Also, Tony Baker, one of the Bald brothers, being part of the Perm Gang is absolutely hilarious.
That was still funny. And hey, Lanny, we just talked you up. I saw episode 1; it was cute, and yeah, it definitely was intriguing. Kira, Joe, what do you guys think?
I like it. It's a good first start. It's definitely different, and I'm very much into things that are different and also have a good story behind it. And so far, they're doing a good job on both fronts.
Joe?
It was fine. It was too over the top for me. It was like watching G Gundam and just like random DBZ fights.
Not G Gundam.
Without a lot of the choreography that goes with Dragon Ball. Save for the ankle lock. Like,
fair.
I mean, I'm hoping episode 2 is fine. I can only watch episode 1 because I don't have Max. But like the first one's like you go through the whole hero's journey in one episode. Are we going to continuously do this where she gets down on herself in the middle of the episode and does the hero's journey every single time? It just like.
The second episode is go find a sensei.
Okay, so this is Dragon Ball, literally Dragon Ball.
Yes.
Go find your Roshi.
Yeah, I'll put it that way, Joe, because you haven't seen the second episode. Yeah, it has a Dragon Ball starting. So yeah, she does find the teacher in the second episode, and it is better because again, I like the first one. The first one was really just her coming out. The second one is kind of her being on her own, and then she eventually does find her former idol,
her favorite wrestler.
Thank you. Her favorite wrestler.
So do her parents support her wrestling, or are they just like, why are you doing this? You're an accountant.
Oh, it turns out at the end of that. Well, it turns out at the beginning of the second episode, they support her and send her off. They literally are like, you're not gonna find any help here, and pretty much yeet her off into the next town. Literally. It was like here's your suitcase. Where you going?
Gundam, they even have the satellite Gundam system.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're gonna remind me a little bit of Metabots where they have like the Mr. Referee just like pop out of the ground.
Yeah. But
actually, you know what? They're Zoids. It reminded me of the Zoids thing where they had the Zoid battles.
Oh, with the referee with the shoot.
And it still has a satellite distribution system for
that's a fair criticism. Like even when we were doing the comparisons for the trailer, I can see where some people are like, "Oh, this is like a love letter," and some people are just like, "It's reference. It's how many references can we fit into like every frame?" And I see some people have been turned off by that too.
Yeah, but it's still. I mean, it's still great though. I'm
sorry,
Joe.
I don't have a problem with it, and it's not even the references. It's just like you're way over the top, and there's just no choreography to those fights initially. It just kind of like it is the biggest problem with DBZ versus Dragon Ball. Where
could that be just because of how they're doing it from the beginning?
For both fights, where it's more the flash behind the person as opposed to like, how do I put this? Think about like Goku and Tien in the World Martial Art Tournament in Dragon Ball and how there was like give and take and flow, and then in Dragon Ball Z it's just power smash, zip behind, or teleport behind, power smash, zip behind, and then finally finishing move.
Right. But I would counter that with how she's still green.
Oh, no, she's still green, but it's still also big power move, teleport behind.
I mean, I agree with that.
Teleport behind, grab.
True. But she is, like I said, the choreography, this is why I say it does stand out on its own, rightly so. But I think it will improve as she improves. It's almost like this is where she is at this level. That's why it looks like this. Versus, let's just say, 8 episodes down the line, completely different person. So, but I'm with it though. I think I like it. I can't knock it just because I already like the characters so far, especially the Busters.
Like I said, the whole doing the hero's journey in a single episode seemed really weird to me. doing the whole hero's journey in the single episode, the build up, the big dream, the letdown, and then the comeback, all in the first episode.
I kind of think that's just because of the attention span that we got these days. I'm like, if you don't,
I just don't want that to be the formula for a while, where it's like, oh, I get the master, I build myself up. Oh, I can't do the training. Oh, the training I did paid off.
Oh no, it's not going to be that. That I don't think it is. I mean, that I think that
again. I've only seen episode 1, so I can't.
Right, you've only seen episode. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's like
that's why I'm saying they've seen the formula a lot and they wanted to try something different. But we'll see how it plays out.
That's why I think it's going to be way different because I mean it's given a little bit of Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur, which again I hate the fact that series is canceled, but
yep, that did not need to be canceled.
It did not need to be at all. But again, for all those that have seen it, let us know what you think in the comments. I know Geek by Heart is definitely loving that. Her parents wanting to become an accountant is so West Indies. I'll take your word for it on that one.
Although I will say there is one positive thing.
Go for it.
Is that it's showing that if you are going to be a wrestler, have a fallback.
That's true. Or
even D'Lo Brown, who is an accountant.
That is true.
They do kind of touch on that in episode 2. They very much have the "how could you give up on your dream" speech, and some of them are like, "Hey, chasing that will get some of us killed, and we're happy to realize that before it actually did." And for some people, that's okay too, which is a unique take on the whole. Got to be the best. Defeat the rest. Rope.
So moving on from that, guys, Dragon Ball Daima. Again, episode 4 has coming out. What do we think? Because I'm still waiting for. I know for me, it's like, yeah, it's enjoyable. Yes, Goku had a few fights. I'm still waiting for what actually draws me in. I mean, I'm still hoping episode 5 does it, but for 4 didn't draw me in as well as I hoped it would. It just added another character while he's in the demon realm. But again, I'm still waiting. But what do you guys think?
We're talking about 4 or 5? Because the one that dropped.
Oh, sorry, 5. Sorry, 5. 5. Sorry.
Okay. Nice to see that they're taking care of Baby Dende. That's very polite of them. I'll give them that much. Also, we know that you can go Super Saiyan as a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
I took that to mean that Goku is getting more well adjusted to the demon world and its how its environment affects him, and he's getting more used to it, so he can tap in, because he only goes Super Saiyan for like a hot second and then goes like fake Super Saiyan from the old school Lord Slug movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm curious if it'll be like GT, where he could only be Super Saiyan 3 to like launch a blast and call it a day.
Yeah,
or kind of like how Vegeta, if you ever in the manga, when he fought Black, he was red whenever he was like going for the hit. He would switch to blue whenever he was landing the blow, and he kept shifting back. But because it's not in color, so I'm curious to see if they do something like that with his transformations here.
Yeah, Kira, what do you think?
I'm still on the fence with it. I don't hate it, but I'm also like, if I miss like 2 or 3 episodes of it, I'm not sad. It feels like this is going to end up being like some really long hyperbolic time chamber for Goku in order to make him stronger when we need him on Earth when he gets to be an adult size again. Also, I feel like he hasn't said that he doesn't have his powers, right? They just made their bodies small. They're not actually 6.
This is the youngest,
the young version. It's I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
They are physically 6 and 9-year-olds,
right?
But still have their full grown-up mentality, but for like,
but their powers. I don't think they specify.
I don't think Goku can physically become Super Saiyan 3 because of the strain on a physical body, which they even say that in old school Z. It's like, this like just murders my body to become 3 because I only did it with a angel body,
right?
So the physical strain is probably too much on him. I can see him probably going Super Saiyan 1 and 2, but probably not 3. And I'm going to guess this is going to be a 2-season thing or a 4-season thing. I don't know if this is going to be, what did they say this was? 24, 26?
Pretty much. I think 26 episodes.
You think? I hope we don't get to 2 12-episode cores. Just let it go and be done.
No, I do see this going in like at least 2 seasons, and it's going to be 12 episodes, get to the Dragon Ball fight. 12 episodes, get to the Dragon Ball. Next Kingdom, get to the Dragon Ball fight.
Mm-hmm.
Next Kingdom, get to the Dragon Ball fight, and then whatever the big bad is in the finale. Because we are working in a like actual time scale, because this happened 6 months after Boo.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got to get to a certain level of like whatever's going on, because then we got the Beerus movie right after this.
Right.
So they can't do anything too crazy because they are working within 2 time periods.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to work the main cast back into here somehow. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing. Is I love that new dude who's just like ballerina in the back, Tibbs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I need you to go get this dude. It's like, do I really need to?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah. It's like, fine.
And then we had the Demon Realm, Chi-Chi, and Ox King, basically.
Yeah. See, that's
I did love that, where it's like, I'll let you marry my daughter. It's like, I'm already married with children.
Yeah, it's just that like I said before, I know it's building to something. It's just like
I'm telling you, Orio's the illegitimate son of Dabra. Because they already know he's lying about something.
Yeah, but it's just like whatever it needs to pick up. And I mean, like, hopefully with the next episodes or not.
This is Dragon Ball. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah,
but Dragon Ball.
But also as comparison though. But also as comparison, Dragon Ball episode 5 had me hooked. Same with Z and Super. So it's just like I get that Toriyama's final act. I get that he wants to tell a story, and maybe it might take a while for me to get there. That's what I'm just saying. I'm still holding out hope it's going to be something. I just hope by like, come on now, we're on 5, and I'm still hoping for. Say what?
I know I Dragon Ball episode 5 grabbed you. That was the first big fight between Goku and Yamcha.
Well, actually, getting Yamcha's ass getting kicked was still funny as hell to me.
He won that fight.
Did he? I thought it was more of a.
He legitimately won that. The first fight Goku has with Yamcha wins.
Oh, right, because he didn't understand Wolfang Fist until like half a second later. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I had to think about that for a second. Yeah, because he didn't understand Wolfang Fist until halfway through the episode. So no, you're right. But no, it's just like I said, just want to give it time. And if I had to give it time, cool. But it's just like, give me something after 5 episodes, something that makes you want to sit there and go, okay.
This is Dragon Ball meets Dragon Quest.
Okay, fair enough. I'll give you that comparison. I mean,
we got our adventurer, our ranger, our medic, which is Shin.
Yeah.
He can heal people, and now we got our mechanic. Even better, think Chrono Trigger.
Ooh,
we're not going back in time or anything, but
I mean, it works. I see what you're going with that one. It works, but you were better off with the Dragon Quest. The Dragon Quest made
also a Dragon Quest analogy, because I mean, we got Artificer and whatnot, and then we got the B team coming with the mechanic, whatever Piccolo wants to be, the mystic or the sage, and then whatever, and then we'll just make a Vegeta its own Dragon Quest class, the Vegeta.
Fair enough. Well, Joe, I'm gonna let you have this one too, because I have to catch up on Star Trek Lower Decks. I know you have been watching the final season, sir. So what do you want to add to this? And also, I'm sorry, Tafari, Kira, if you've seen it, also give your thoughts on this too.
I need to catch up.
Same.
Kapla. It was a giant Klingon episode. It was hilarious. So much honor, so much trials, so much backstabbing for honor. Also, Dr. Miglimo, the B story was like really, really not great at all.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Miglimo's people came on and they were like taste snobs that have critiqued themselves into a bland palate so they can't taste anything. But the best part was easily Mariner and Boimler. And apparently Boimler knows a lot about Klingon tradition and history.
Mm-hmm.
To where every other person's like, why does the small one know so much?
Hmm.
No, it was just a fun episode. You get to re-meet Targ, I think, from the last season. The one where Mariner got like put on that planet with all the other different alien species.
Okay.
Yeah. So, no, this was a fun episode, especially if you're a big Klingon fan. I had a great time. The B story was just crap, but the A story was really, really fun.
Okay, cool. I got to catch up because I keep on saying, since I have all this wonderful time of sitting down, waiting for babies to go to sleep, that would be a perfectly good time to watch Lower Decks. So I'm definitely going to make it a point to catch
Fight
up.
Girls on Hulu.
Say what?
Okay.
Invincible Fight Girls on Hulu, so I can watch it.
Yeah. Oh, good to know because Hulu and Max because before Disney buys everything.
WB, advertise your stuff. Damn.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna try and pirate the second episode. Then it's just like, watch it now on Hulu. It's like I can do that.
Well, because even the commercials say Adult Swim and next day on Max. If it's
right,
on Hulu, they just don't bring it up. Maybe because it's Disney owned. I don't know.
I'm gonna leave it be.
This is Joe going to check right now.
But yeah. But with that being said, guys, we're definitely going to go ahead and wrap this up. So, but as we do this, because I'm going to basically do the same thing to her that Chris does to her on our other show.
Hate it.
Go ahead, Kira.
Hi. You can find me at all of the social sites over here. I am going to be streaming. I'm newish to streaming, but not gaming. I stream on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I have my show with Navy Montel, Reverend Navy to some of you, on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talk about indie comics, Black-centered comics as well, and sometimes we voice act them out online, and we have guests from some of those comics as well. It's a good time. You should stop by. Okay, bye.
Oh, the acting out of the comic lines is always my favorite.
Yeah, it's fun
because Kira has accents.
Oof, God, some of them are actually not terrible.
Some are actually pretty freaking good. Don't believe me? Ask Bama. Anyway, I was gonna hit Joe, but the man, the myth, the legend, Tafari, sir, let the people know where they can find you.
So you can find me on all platforms underneath this name. I try to just post regularly. October was pretty much me burning through just a back catalog of ideas I've been sitting on for years now. So we're in a new month. New chapter of the Convention Survival Guide is officially out. Halloween video, which is what if they had the Purge in the world of The Office. And then I'm gonna try to move to streaming, multi-streaming on more, because what is it? Stream Labs gives you 2 free, and then you gotta pay. And I missed the damn $6 deal. So YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube. I'm usually streaming. I do my walk and talk streams, which is running through my retro catalog while I'm on a walking pad and shooting the shit with y'all. It's a fun time. And if y'all see me raging, I start getting tired. It's a triple tap challenge of interesting things.
Sweet. Joe, want to let people know what they can find you, sir?
You can usually find me over at Total Justice Gaming right now, streaming almost 3 to 4 hour streams of Mech Warrior clans. We're going to be wrapping that up. I don't know what giant robot game I'll go to next, but it's been fun. I've been blowing things up with various multicolored lasers of destruction and numerous missiles raining down on things. So much fun. Even though I know what happens to Clan Smoke Jaguar, it's not great. Other than that, you can see me and Tafari over on Showa Guy Joe, my other YouTube channel where we look at tokusatsu stuff. We watch Ultraman weekly. We MST3K it. We got a humdinger of an episode this week. because it's kind of drawing on samurai period pieces to go with it. We finally got the name of our big bad. We start setting up for that final arc. And if I can get time to play Street Fighter, it's over on Twitch. Joe Italian last name. I have way too many handles. If I'm not, you can't find me anywhere. It's because I'm playing on my Switch because I don't stream on this thing because I don't have money for an Elgato to capture anything in these streaming devices. And I'm playing Mario and Luigi. Other than that, work and sleep all the time. There will be news of a free fighting game tournament I am helping run in some point in this month in conjunction with the Frist promoting the Japanese art exhibit going on right now called Myth to Manga. We're holding, I think, a Smash and Street Fighter tournament.
Nice.
I will have more news on that once we get to it. Just a lot of the API crew is doing a lot of stuff right now to help out with the current situation. And then once we get everything solidified, we'll have more news on that.
All right, sweet. And we will definitely post that here once he has that. So before I get to myself, shameless plugging as usual, I do want to shout out Geek by Heart, who is getting geared up for her streaming tomorrow. I apologize, Laney, I'm a little bit early. You can definitely check her out at her YouTube page that is ran by her and her husband, Jay, Geek by Heart. As you can see, guys, have definitely, we usually call her the Griot Horror on our Blurred's Eye View channel, but lately she has been on a gaming tear. She has conquered Silent Hill. I think she's still playing Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom at this point. Mm-hmm. But definitely check her out, Geek by Heart, on YouTube. And also like, share, and subscribe. We certainly appreciate that. Also, guys, check out Rick's Comic City. Again, Nashville's #1 place to go to for comic books, for mangas, for collectibles. You name it, they got it, all things pop culture. Definitely check them out at the locations, Nashville and Clarksville, Tennessee, or their website at rickscomiccity.com. Why do we support them? Because you see us on their television. So definitely let them know the guys at Git Bit sent you. It doesn't get you discounts, but hey, they show us love, but we show them love. So definitely check them out there. Also, I cannot say enough about blurredstation.com. We have been saying this, myself, Kira, Tafari, Fury, Geek by Heart. I can keep going down the list of all our podcast brethren that have talked about this, because we've always wanted a place for our content, for our viewership, and especially our dollars to go back to us. Mm-hmm. Tubi is great, but Tubi is also owned by the same guy that owns Fox. Tubi is well worth over $100 million and climbing at this point. Why? Because of our viewership. That money should basically go to us. And Blur Station is one of the many vehicles that can do that. So with that being said, definitely go to blurredstation.com. If you like what you see, hit the Join Now button. And from Join Now, select the Blurred's Eye View Affinity membership. And from there, anybody there under the Affinity Influence Partner, whether it's Chris Fury, Roomful of Blurs, We'll Be Watching, Black Spartan, Safari TV, Navy Montel, or Geek by Heart, we would love it. As it supports the movement. It is again $10.99 a month to watch Blur Station. $10.99 a month. You can't beat that with a stick, because I've seen what y'all people pay for Starbucks. Anyway, after 36 months of paying $10.99 a month, you will have the option to own a piece of Blur Station. And I'm sorry, that is the easiest way to own a piece of any media conglomerate, because again, you can go through E-Trade, you can go through Merrill Lynch, you can go through Prudential if they still do it. It is a lot to get stock in anything media, and at the same time, 36 months of paying $10.99 a month is a hell of a lot easier. So definitely check out blurredstation.com. You will not be disappointed at all, especially when they have coming down the pipe that we can't talk about right now. Also, APR TV, guys. Why do we support APR TV? It's, again, another vehicle that has shows like this one. And, of course, my other show, How the Frack We Got Here, it's also an APR TV. Check out alwayspressrecord.com or APR TV on all apps, including the Roku app, because you can see us on your television. You know you want to. Just saying. Now, as for myself, guys, you can find me, Black_Spartan615 on the interwebs. I usually cover a lot of other things. Also, love to talk to people. Just don't be weird. That's all I ask. I don't want to have to block you. I don't want to have to get a Law and Order SVU list going on. Just don't be weird. Be nice. Be kind. Not that freaking hard. At the same time, guys, I will put the link at the bottom where you can actually click on that. There it is. If you actually post and click that link into your browser, it'll take you the link to the YouTube and Facebook groups for all the podcasts. Like, share, and subscribe. Reverend Navy said it best. I'm only repeating what he says because he is the Reverend and I'm just a deacon. I just make sure the church gets its money. That's all my job is. So again, guys, a like, a share means everything to us, and subscribe because we're basically trying to build this with you. At the same time, guys, again, please check out Safari TV because I usually point him out number one because the man is the myth, the legend. At the same time, he has a couple of videos out there because we have found out through Reverend Navy, a lot of you guys have never been to cons and would like to go to cons, don't know what to do at cons, don't know how to plan for a con, don't know the behavior of going to a con, don't know what to do post a con. Luckily, Tafari TV has actually created several videos that are available for you to watch that you'll basically get all this wonderful information on how to plan for, what to do, how to enjoy a con, and simply put, let the con goers know what you like so next year is even better because that's what they need, feedback. Outside of that, guys, the only rules that I have are the same rules I have for pretty much in life. Respect the cosplayer at all times. Cosplay is not consent. Please treat people like human beings. It's not that freaking hard. At the same time, cosplay is for everybody, regardless of your height, weight, race, or preference. The only rule that we have, don't do blackface, don't do yellowface, don't do anything of another race. How about that? Just if you do that, you'll avoid getting your ass kicked. That's all I'm saying. And of course, number two, hygiene is important. Guys, we are entering flu season. I don't think you guys have noticed. We are entering flu season, which means a lot of runny noses, a lot of coughing. COVID is still out there hanging around like that creepy uncle that no one ever wants to talk about, but yet have to avoid all the time. Again, these things are still popping up. Please wash your ass. Please wear clean clothes. Please hygiene above all else, because again, we all want to have fun, but at the same time, we all want to not be sick when we leave a con. Nobody wants con crud. And the same rule, the third rule I have for myself is I have for everybody else, guys, in a world that is cruel, that is unkind, be nice, be kind. Please share your fandoms and don't be a dick. It's not that freaking hard. And as Lenny said, wash your ass. So, with that being said, guys, we are definitely going to wrap it up. We will hopefully be back here, guys, next Friday. And also, let me explain, also before I wrap this up, let me explain why we're on here Saturday. Because the guys have graciously, and I say graciously, my podcast partners have decided to come on here Saturday night. Why? Because Friday, your boy had to get his hair did. Why Friday? Because as of earlier today, I am now a part of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. The celebration was actually today. So again, thank you. Again, my podcast partners for sticking with me for the adjustments. We will be back here Friday, same Git Bit time, same Git Bit channel. Of course, thank you, Lainey. Thank you, Lainey, for definitely jumping in. My other Soar in crime, and also thank you, Kira, for jumping on because I'm definitely going to be there tomorrow for you and Reverend Navy and whatever act you guys are going to do. I certainly think y'all guys need to put that on Audible and actually run with it, but that's just me. But with that being said, guys, any last words for we call tonight?
Ain't nobody buying y'all blue bracelets. Knock it off.
Immediately, we know who you are, okay? And all cookout invites are being reviewed, just so you know. Cookout invites have been put on hiatus, and every cookout invite is now being under heavily scrutinization, just so you know. But
you can fight your own battles at work from now on. Godspeed.
Yep. Joe, any last words we call tonight?
No.
All right. Well, with that being said, guys, thank you all for watching. What a dickhead in the chat. I can ask you about that one later, Laney. But anyway, thank you all for watching, guys. This has basically been Git Bit for tonight. Again, protect yourselves, protect your peace, because let's be honest, winter is coming. Aside from that, guys, take care of yourselves and each other. We're out of here. Peace.
Bye.